Welcome, friends, to the christening of the Sustaining Universal Needs Foundation monument. And not coincidentally, it's also my tombstone. This was born as an idea, well, the tombstone itself about 2 years ago, but the Sustaining Universal Needs Foundation, it's a 501c3 corporation I chartered, began in 2013. And the goals of SUN, that's the acronym, are to develop sustainable forms of living, which currently we do not have in our industrial civilization. And it has been a slow slog in trying to get this corporation and this idea off the ground. And due to my own personal collapse, physically, it is highly unlikely that I will live to see fruition of this organization, which I hope will help as we progress down the collapse highway. In my previous video, which I did down in or across in Washington, where the stones were engraved, I explained most of the features of the stones, why the stones are the shape they are, what the inscriptions mean, and so forth, although that was not complete either in terms of its explanation. But in my forthcoming blogs that go along with this video, I will explain in detail what that is all about. Today, I don't want to explain to you what the stone is, what each of these objects mean. What I want to explain to you is why. Why does this exist? Why did I spend so much of my time and money on putting it up? Well, the deal here is that as a culture, as a civilization, we have real problems ahead of us. And we're already immersed in some of them. And you can see them in the way the economics are deteriorating. You can see them in the collapse of various political organizations and setups in Europe, first, and even more so in peripheral countries in Africa and in Asia. What is happening is moving inward from the periphery of the civilization to the center. And we live in the belly of the beast. We live in the center of industrial civilization and capitalism, which is what enabled all of this to occur. And what occurred was the profligate and accelerated use of resources on our planet. And if you know anything about math, you should know that you can't have infinite growth on a finite planet. But that's what everybody believes in, and that's what the media tells them to believe in, and that's what every politician who runs for office sells you. Growth, growth, growth. But you can't do it. You can't grow forever, and we have reached the limits to growth. And this sort of stuff was researched back in the 1970s. There's a wonderful paper and graph produced by the Club of Rome on the limits to growth, and they were very accurate in terms of determining when we would achieve these limits, and it relates not just to the use of resources, but to the expanding and ballooning population. If you know anything about the population of the Earth, we're now at 7.6 billion people. That's right, 7.6 billion. And each and every one of those people that lives on this planet wants to live like a happy motoring American. Okay? driving their cars around willy-nilly and flying in airplanes like I just did to get down here from the last great frontier of Alaska, and so forth and so on. The use of energy that we are going through as a culture is extraordinary, and it's not going to last. And I've been talking about this stuff since 2007 when I first became aware of this. And at the beginning I was kind of like Chicken Little. You know, the sky is falling, it's all going to end tomorrow. But I was right on everything that I said in terms of the progress, but not on the timeline. Okay? I freely admit that I got the timeline wrong. I never really expected that the Federal Reserve Bank and the elite, the Illuminati as I call them, would do what they have done to extend and pretend this game as long as possible to keep their power. And it's remarkable. So I messed up on that. All right, let me try to close it out because I don't want to go on forever here. I got people, got my sister here saying, thank fucking God. And I'm sweating bullets, folks. It's hot in Missouri. This is not great weather. I prefer less. But at any rate, I'm not going to be around forever. And whatever kind of crash we do experience, it's not going to be fixed in this generation. It's going to take many generations if we recover from it at all. Many people talk about this being an extinction level event for the human race. And it's conceivable. I don't believe so, not in the near term, but it's possible. And each and every one of us has to do things to save ourselves, and as I like to say on the diner, save as many as you can. You know, your friends, people you know. You can't affect the world. You can't fix all the fucking problems in the world. You don't have the power, you don't have the money, and even the people with the power and the money can't do it because it's a system, and no one person really can control it. So, on the stone, I wrote down some principles for sustainable living. I tried to boil down the millions of words that I've written about this subject into 12 principles. They're written on stone, and I will put them up online. You can come visit the stone. I'll put up the geographical coordinates for it so you can find it. And let's go ahead and christen it there, Gary. Let's get that champagne out. And it's really fucking cheap champagne. The cheapest shit on the north side of Springfield, where they don't even sell champagne. Okay? The idea was for it to just look like champagne. And I'm not going to break the bottle over the rock because I don't want glass all over the place here. And besides, it's a waste of even bad champagne. All right? You get that sucker open? All right? You twist it off. I can't twist it off. Not me. Aim it at Hunter. There we go. All right, and I had to come up with a name for the stone. All right, got to have a name, and so I'm calling it the Diner Rocks. Okay, because that's a double entendre. These are rocks that I put together because of the Doomstead Diner, which is my blog and forum where I talk about these things, and because the diner rocks, okay? So it's both a verb and a noun, all right? All right, let's pour a little over it. Okay. And you notice these hats, you see? The hats on this stone are meant to keep the rain and stuff off of there. That should allow the engraving to last longer. Okay, I'm going to take a slug. Oh, that's really shit. slug for you guys. Sorry, Hunter, only adults. Yep.
Good stuff.
Yeah, good stuff. That's how wine tasters do it, though. I know you were just tasting it and then you spit it out.
You got to switch it around, but it started to bubble.
It's pretty shit. All right, friends. That's all from here in Springfield, Missouri on this lovely summer's day.
You're in the middle of the camera.
Yeah, you're gonna get a nice view of you up close.
This is obvious.
And I will see you all again. That's all the doom. This time until next time, here on the Doomsday Diner. Hasta la collapse of industrial civilization.
Baby. Hey, John.
What?
That's the sacred geometry.
That's right.
You want me to turn these off now?
The dimensions of the stone are the golden rectangle,
Yeah.
and the spiral is what comes out of the golden rectangle. Each one of those is an iteration of the one before it.
They showed it. I seen the deal on Central America about that.
Yeah.
How they built their buildings according to
Right,
that code.
and you know, you see it in nature. You see it in,
Right.
in snail shells and stuff like that, and it's all over the place. And then on the back, if you look, I've got, what do you call it?
Oh, the solar system.
Yeah, the solar system is where the position of the planets on the day that I was born.
Oh,
I
cool.
have a program to work that out. And this shows you where the moons of Jupiter were at the time.
Oh, really? Wow.
Okay.
Very cool. Very aligned.
Yeah. And then I've got the slogans for you, sending you what you need, and the Doomsday Diner, and then my 12 principles of sustainable living.
Yeah, I was reading them while I was listening to them.
Oh, well, they're better eyes than me. All right.
Well, kind of.
There's just one more thing to do before we leave. Hunter, you want to turn off that video, press the red button.
Yeah, he's the only one that don't have champagne.